What's up, guys, and welcome to episode 11 Pound of Summoner Podcast. I'm the only one left with any enthusiasm, and as always, I'm joined by the reincarnation of Jim.
I'm Jim, baby.
And that man who was contractually obliged to be here, Sheeny.
I'm still here, guys.
And this week, we're doing episode 7 to 13 of the amazing Space Dandy.
Introductions there brought to you by Grayson this time round because he's enthusiastic about Space Dandy.
Because it's the best.
And Jim, baby!
Jim, baby!
We hope you enjoyed that as much as we did.
I will put it on Twitter. If you want to download that, I will put it on Twitter.
So if you've come back to watch part 2 of Space Dandy, first of all, thank you, because we didn't expect people to come back after that first one.
What did you do wrong in your life to want to come back?
We're going to jump straight in with episode 7. Episode 7 starts with, of course, our protagonists in boobies, and we meet Master Prince, I think is his name.
Supersonic Speedster Top Racer Prince.
Master Prince. And we find out he's this, like, intergalactic space racer, best in the universe sort of thing.
He's Speed Racer.
Yes, he's never lost a race.
Yeah.
And because he's popular with the ladies in boobies, Dandy gets jealous and decides that he wants to enter the next race.
To become a supersonic speed racer just like them and get all the ladies at boobies.
Does this race have rules?
No, not particularly, apart from go through the gates.
It's literally just go through checkpoints, get to the end.
That is it, isn't it?
They like blow up
weapons are
asteroids
okay,
and yeah, you can use
yeah,
weapons and
they
They straight up kill people.
They split a planet at
Like
some
Dandy
point.
straight up kills loads of people in this fucking episode.
And we see Prince's party. He's got what, a rat, and
he's got a mouse that's clearly not
He
Mickey
is
Mouse.
seriously got a mouse that's just Mickey Mouse.
Totally Mickey Mouse.
and he's got a up-to-date robot.
Z.
Yes.
That one. So it cuts to like the start of the race, and is it that he harnesses other people's speed to like cheat at the start?
I think he's supposed to do the what's it called, where you tailgate them, slipstream.
Is that what he's doing?
Is that what it is?
Look, from the start of this episode, I got a few things. That there was a person called the Mars Racer, racing team that was called the Twins, and then some sexy German alien, which kept doing poses which had to be covered up by the announcer of the race. By the way.
I know. During the race, like a snake blocks like the second gate straight away.
Yeah, that big space snake.
They literally start the race, and then Dandy says, "Yeah, that's it. We've got to use our last resort."
He says that about
five times,
five
at
times.
least
4 or 5
five
times,
times.
Well, we see him blow people up to get more speed. He uses like the force of the explosions from killing them.
The flying bomber romba.
How are you not in love?
I've got.
It's so good.
No, I'm like, I'm drinking the punch at this point almost.
I mean, he takes.
It's got plot.
No, it does not. He takes the lead thanks to. I wrote octopus. There's an octopus ship that he.
That's definitely.
I
an
remember
octopus.
a few ships in this episode. I remember the Twins because they were like Gundam twins.
All I know is there's
Ship them.
inconsistent races in this race.
This is just fucking wacky races.
It is the wacky races.
episode.
This is the wacky races.
They've got Penelope Pitstop in it, which is in the pink car, which is Honey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who just
she
turns up,
pops
who decides
doesn't
to
she?
turn
Turns
up
up.
in the race because it sounded like fun.
But in this one, Dick Dastardly wins.
Yeah.
Why does Dandy get? When did Dandy get a bomb put on his car?
That was at the pit stop.
Look, there's
That's
so
right.
Mickey Mouse put it on.
So
at
he
the pit
gets
stop.
into first place, and then he ends up in the pit stop, and Meow takes a fucking age. Like,
Yeah, because he doesn't know
fills
how
it
to
up.
plug it in the fuel thing.
and fills it up with macky rolls
So,
and
yeah, just put anything in
Yeah,
there.
they
It's
put
like,
everything and anything in
He
there,
puts
like
ramen
food
and sushi and
yep,
because
everything
it's
in
that.
there.
What is it? That egg roll at the end.
Yeah,
sushi roll thing.
We'll,
that
we'll hold off on the
disintegrates.
sushi roll.
This is when he has a bomb placed under his car by
Mickey
the-
Mouse.
Squeakers.
It's Mickey Mouse.
Squeakers, something like that. It's evil Mickey Mouse lawyer.
It's 100%.
He is a lawyer.
Then he uses a last resort again after leaving.
His fifth last resort. I even have it wrote here.
And again, like, he explodes people and it speeds him up.
No,
Like-
so he says he's going to use all of the torpedoes.
That's it.
After he leaves the pit stop and he's in last place because of Meow, he says, that's it, we've got to use my fifth last resort to blow all of the torpedoes up behind us. That'll give us such a speed boost that we'll make it to the 6th level of speed velocity. And
Still with us, guys?
And then QT literally turns around and is like, that's stupid, it'll just blow us up. And he's like, yeah, I was only joking. And then slips and knocks the button and blows up all of the torpedoes.
And kills every other racer in
Kills
this
every other
explosion.
racer.
That
This
isn't
doesn't
Prince
put him.
or
Does
Honey.
this put him in first place? Because I don't think it does. Not yet.
No, it puts him equal with him. And then all of a sudden, Dr. Gel turns up with B to try and take out Dandy. And
I'm
then
not
he gets...
interested in racing.
And then he gets so interested in the race that he overtakes Dandy and realizes he's now interested in the race,
And Dandy has to chuck everything off the ship,
including QT.
In space.
including QT, to increase his speed.
In space.
This
Yeah.
is when he splits the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, they both split a planet in half. They've reached the 6th level of speed velocity.
And Prince has got
Prince
this...
then dumps all of his shit out of his...
Yep.
Well,
Throws
he
his robot
gets
out
this
and everything.
tingly feeling that he's never felt before.
And then we get the Onsen Spa piece where the bamboo shoot hits the floor and he says, love.
And
So,
Prince falls in love with Dandy.
And then when they realise that Dandy's about to win, Mickey Mouse character blows up the bomb, which sends Dandy to the 7th level of speed velocity. And he then, quote, plows into the back of Prince.
He does.
Oh,
And then you get that Prince moment where it goes black and it's just him naked on the
Yep.
screen.
With unknown fuels.
We totally got that he came there, right?
Yeah. he
That
definitely
was an
did.
orgasm from Prince.
Like, and
All
we get
I
the
know.
whole thing of, and when the Maki roll, or what was it?
The
sushi
California
roll
roll
thing.
thing.
When the sushi roll finally disintegrates, something happened which inside of Prince.
all I know is Dandy fell out of time.
He fell beyond time and light and saw,
5.6 billion years into the future.
yeah, and he saw Space Dandy
And he sees a statue of himself
as God.
as a god. And that's the episode, guys.
How are
Yeah.
you not picking up the plot that's been laid down?
20
right now?
minutes of wacky races.
And it's an amazing episode. How did you not love this episode?
I love this episode. Like, I'm drinking the Kool-Aid here. Guys. I'm in at this point. After last week, I'm 100% on. I'll tell you my true thoughts at the end of the series, but yeah,
Let's jump straight into episode 8.
let's do it.
Opens with Dr. Gel again. Look, I'll come clean. Episode 8. My fucking notes make no sense for episode 8. Jim, do you want to take the lead for episode 8? Let's talk us through that.
Oh, episode 8 with a dog.
Right, the first thing I have about this is that Dr. Gel and B gets installed sick decks on his ship.
He does get sick decks every time he does that remixy thing.
Yeah, as
doesn't
soon as he
like,
does a
scratches them.
It plays his music list and also fires all the torpedoes on the ship.
So the Statue of Liberty's mouth and ball gag opens, and every missile
Fires
they've
all the
got
torpedoes. And then
boom.
Dr. Gel then tells off B, don't you know how much those torpedoes cost? And seeing as the Admiral is such a stingy bastard and such a penny pincher, he's going to be having his ass for it, basically. And that moment, the Admiral turns up and then talks about an unpaid fine or an unpaid bill
Yeah.
in this economy.
I know we cut and they go to, is it Planet Mechanica? Mechania?
Machinia.
Machinia?
Yep.
And he finds a dog.
Who the only person who can understand is Meow.
Yeah, so Meow can
Communicate.
translate, but he translates wrong.
But he fucking hates the dog.
He hates the dog because he's a cat. He's going to hate the dog. So he uses his universal translator on his wrist, and Space Dandy talks to the dog.
Yeah, and Dandy falls in love with the dog.
He does.
It's the first time we see Dandy care. Well, second time we see
Second
Dandy
time.
care about anything in the universe. And it's a dog, of course.
Third time.
What else does he care about?
Boobies,
Do you know what?
Oh, it's canon!
I wasn't even going to say it. I knew what he was thinking.
No, we've got a new love.
Jim, baby.
I'd watch that show.
Jim, do you want to continue the episode?
Crowdfunded that episode. I'll do the voice acting for it. I'm good for it, baby.
So this dog dies, right?
Yeah.
So we see there's some green Bill and Ben sort of fucking characters.
Yeah, they're like
at some
flea
point.
things, aren't
Well, we don't know what they are for a start. We just see them in what looks like grassland.
Fuck, I must have zoned out at this point.
I think you were dead at this point, weren't you?
I don't remember it.
Like, this was like half the episode.
Yeah, so they're Machinians, and then they get onto Space Dandy's ship because they come in pairs, and they're the
So you've
brothers.
completely, like, you've completely
All right, so you want to
passed
do the bit
over.
where Pup dies?
Pup dies.
The dog.
This
Pup.
is the saddest
I know
part.
they shoot him off in a rocket coffin,
They shoot her off the rocket coffin, yeah.
and then they reference Laika, the space dog. that
Yeah.
the
From
Russians sent.
Sputnik.
Yeah,
Yes.
the Russians sent.
And maybe this was a dog. Probably not, but it might be
Oh yes, because Laika has lived millions of years.
on Machinia.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I thought I could do this, but I don't think I can bring the enthusiasm to this entire series.
I don't know how not. It's amazing.
You kill him. So we've got fucking Bill and Ben,
Yeah,
the
you
green
got-
guys.
We've got Bill and Ben, the green Flea brothers.
I'll quickly give you my notes. The next bit: guys jumped from dog to cat.
Well,
Yeah,
they
they're-
jump
they're
from
the Lefley
yeah,
brothers.
yeah, Lefley.
Then I've wrote Dandy's hair.
Well, he stinks
They go
too
into-
much, so he jumps
Oh,
off
I
of him
remember
Yeah.
now. The little flea guys. Yeah, they jump into Dandy's hair.
Yeah.
And that's when he combs it
And crushes one to death.
one of the brothers.
And then the other one goes a bit mental.
and
Then
takes
he
over
inhabits QT.
QT.
Yep.
Yeah. I was thinking you might carry on, but obviously,
Eventually, he gets stepped on, right?
yeah, he gets stepped on. As they realize he's the last one
Of his kind.
so they try and catch him for registration. Dandy steps on him.
And then I've got something.
The planet
I literally
goes into a
wrote
black
something
hole.
by extreme sucking. What happened
Stop!
there? This is when I changed the show.
This is when you changed what you were watching, Mark.
I need to watch High School of the Dead right now. Flicked over the channel.
They warp, right, at the end?
So, because the Lefley brothers were holding the planet together, the planet
Yeah.
collapses in a supernova and into a black hole,
And then they try and use the warp to get out of it.
and they do.
Yeah, and
But then Dr.
Dr.
Gel
Gel
and
shows up and
B
gets sucked in.
then get killed by ultimate sucking.
Oh, surprise.
That's
Dead
the
again.
bit. That's the bit that you get for your ultimate sucking.
End of episode 8.
Yeah, and that was it, guys.
Pretty much.
That was it. If you were
Episode-
hoping for more, there was no more.
If you think that was fucking messed up, then we come on to episode 9.
I can't even do
This one's
episode.
a fucking trip. Like,
What
whoever
the
made this
fuck
episode
is episode 9?
was dropping acid hard.
Like,
Hard.
please, like, if you fucking watch Space Dandy and you get to episode 9, like, good luck. Because I was
I
sitting
got
there.
what it was.
I had a confused expression the entire time. Like, my other half walked in the room and was like, what the fuck is that?
It's a giant plant.
I was like, I don't know what the fuck this is.
An asteroid crashes on this planet that forces all the
Don't
planets
try and
to
give it a
evolve.
plot.
It's
Don't-
got a
don't-
plot!
No,
Fuck off.
episode 9 opens on Planet Planter. We find out Dandy wants to go to Planet Planter because there's an alien called Code D that inhabits this planet, and he
that's
wants
the
to go and
plot.
capture it.
That's the plot.
That's the basic of the plot, yeah.
Yeah.
So they head to the planet, and they get transported to the planet's surface by the inhabitants of the planet.
Well, no, by the
QT.
shitty transporter that QT has fixed.
He fixes it and it
So it
teleports
takes, like,
in
it's
like
2
15
seconds.
It's instant, but
Yeah.
it can't locate you where you need to be located. So they get dropped
its
into the sky.
accuracy
don't they?
has somewhat been diminished by the increase of speed.
Yeah. And Dandy and Meow meet the trippy. Is it Meow? Meow's there, isn't
Meow meets the southern hemisphere.
Yeah.
Or the northern hemisphere.
The
I
dumb
don't
ones.
fucking
he? Yeah,
know, the
so
dumb
they
ones.
land in different areas.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
Dandy meets the trippy blob alien plants.
Yeah. Doctor
One of them is a doctor
Dr. H. There we go. Dr. H.
who basically turns around and says, I've never seen anything other than a plant before,
Or a microbe.
and gives Dandy a bed for the night, which is a cloud?
Yep.
Fucking looks like a cloud.
It looks a bit like a cloud. I think it's supposed to be some squishy, planty thing, but it looks like a cloud.
And then tries to roll off some
Chloroplast.
sort of world plot thing about a plant republic, and it's split into different
each
factions.
biome, biome is its own little faction and stuff, yeah.
So you've got the Plant Republica and the useless bastards from the south, basically. And look, if you can follow this episode, I went back and watched this 3 times. I'm not joking. 3 times. And I still have barely enough to fill a page.
We meet the doctor's daughter.
033H.
Yeah, that one. And Dandy goes with her on a journey to find Code D.
Yeah, because the doctor thinks that all the plant life
Has
on that
evolved
planet
further
has
than it should
evolved
have.
further than it should have, and he wants to fix it.
And he thinks Code D is to blame.
Is the cause.
Shock. It is.
They then meet Resistance.
Yeah, from oh god,
Well,
Coco Mocha.
Well, there's a moment when they're fighting again, and Dandy turns to shoot his gun, and surprise, surprise, it's not
out of
charged.
shots.
And then we cut to Meow, who's being fattened up by
He
these
is
other
being
plant
eaten.
people.
fattened up by mushroom.
I mean, it's
people.
obvious that they're going to eat, like, they want to eat him at the end of this. I mean,
Yeah.
the minute I saw them overfeeding him, I was like, oh, I know exactly what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
But we never get that payoff.
And
Should
then,
he
yeah.
have died?
And then, well,
He was that big.
Everyone else has died.
wouldn't
Would
have
it
fucking
matter?
mattered. Then they get stopped by Chokomoko, or
Choco Moco.
what is he?
Coco Mocha.
Sounds like
Living
the
a vida loca.
what was the name of the hippo from Madagascar 2? Was
I
it
fucking know?
Motomoto?
Moto moto.
Moto. No, that's the
Wait, I'm
the
gonna have a
hot,
look.
sexy male blooming hippo. Moto. It
It
is.
is this Moto, yeah.
This was nothing like that whatsoever. Coco Mocha.
I have no idea where you were going with that.
Living the vida loca. That's all I can think of when it comes to Coco Mocha.
So he tells them that they're not allowed to go to Code D
Because he's the
because it's
president.
it's off limits.
He's the president, so deal with it.
And then we get the most confusing.
The Aladdin space ride.
It's amazing. What is that creature?
It's a singer. They literally reference it as an end. Right. So
No, the one that carries them.
yeah, that's the one.
Is that the singer? I thought the singer
No,
was the one that saved
that's a
them
magic
later.
carpet from Aladdin.
Yeah, I get what it did.
No, that was a reference. It even had. It looked like the magic carpet from Aladdin. Right. So they get chucked in prison, and then they get busted out of prison. Like 10 seconds later, not even 10 seconds, probably like 5 seconds later, by an entertainment plant.
That sings.
Which
Yeah.
sings and just goes,
my God. We get this trippy, stupid fucking song and dance pollination style.
So much acid.
So we get
much
see
acid.
previous.
This is trip. I mean, if
We get
you have
see
smoked
previews.
something and you're watching this, fucking good luck because you are on for a ride.
Maybe that's the point of the episode.
Maybe they were all on it.
Yeah.
Quality control, the producers, the director,
And by the end of the fucking song, they've made it to Code D.
and then the thing
And
fucks off.
the big
and does
plant
a,
can't go any further.
Well, they being so close to Code D makes all the plants like grow in size,
Yeah.
and then the daughter ends up.
The doctor can't go, so he sends his daughter.
He just lets her go. Daddy, I want to
It's
go.
like, fine. Go with a strange man into the strange place.
She gets as far as she can before she expands and becomes too big to continue.
and move.
We've all had that problem.
And Dandy finds Code D, which is a stone,
Yeah.
and he grabs it and
It's an asteroid.
Pulls. It's
Which
it's
just
an asteroid
gets
that he pulls.
chucked.
he just grabs it.
It looks like a D20. I'm not going to lie, by the way. When I see it, it's just a D20.
I thought it looked like a D20.
And what? He kills the planet.
Well, he doesn't
Well,
kill
well,
it.
No,
he just,
he
it
kills-
shoves off, doesn't it?
He kills
It
the
devolves.
intelligent
Yeah,
plants.
Yeah, he tries to grab it, and then it zips down when all the defensive enzymes of it, and then it disappears.
de-evolves. Devolves? That's the one.
Devolves.
Devolves.
And all the,
the rest of the
intelligent
planet.
plants die, and they
Well,
turn back
turn
into
back- turn back to
they're
plants.
normal
supposed to
plants.
be, yeah.
Does he keep the daughter?
No, I don't think so. No, she's planted next to her dad.
I'm sure he had like a plant on the ship at the end. I could be wrong.
No, you said you don't remember anything of this episode, and then you pull out that knowledge right at the end.
End of episode 9.
Like, right, we need to talk about these two episodes. In particular, was there anything that made them 20-minute episodes?
Tons of plot.
I just
Don't you shut the hell up.
Space Dandy went out of his way to help people.
Shut the hell up and stay on your side. Go on, sit in your fucking Space Dandy section. We'll have this conversation. Was there anything that
checking
actually
out.
kept you hooked?
I couldn't follow episode 9 if I wanted to.
What about episode 8?
Remind me what that was again?
The dead dog.
No, again, I told you. That's why you took over the notes, because 8 and 9 I was just lost.
Look, I enjoyed the dead dog bit because it was actually sad, and it was really sad, actually. I really was sad about the dead dog.
The
because
first
I
half
have
of
a
this
dog.
episode's awesome. Like, they're playing ball with her for the last time and everything. It's nice.
And then they
How
get
long
the-
are they playing ball with the dog for?
So long.
So long. Like 7 minutes of the episode is them playing.
I think actually the sun did set in the real world for the length of this episode of Play with the Dog.
Yeah, but then it carries on into the mindfuck episode of 9, where it's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, plants. They come to life. They've evolved. They're big.
Yeah.
These plants big. They sing and they they do what I just did earlier as well.
And then they have a massive orgy, which is pretty much what the pollination was.
That's what I thought it was pollination.
That's how plants mate.
Yeah.
They pollinate.
Yeah,
Lots of them do it.
I
That's an orgy.
wasn't going to make that association.
Oh God, there was, weren't there?
Yeah, you watched an orgy and got confused.
Very confused. Very confused.
Every time he gets confused. Jim, baby. We'll move on to episode 10.
Please.
Arguably one of the best episodes.
This is such a good episode.
I will agree. I liked this episode. It starts a bit weird. I mean, it starts with what? A transformer again?
Yeah.
Do you know what? Right? This episode took me in the first 10 minutes to realise that we were outside of the Mindfuck Mind Trip episode that we'd just been in. Literally, the first couple of minutes I was just like...
No, we see Dr. Gel's ship fighting the ship from the other empire, and they both send out what is supposed to be their best machines to fight each other. And the other empire sends out what looks like a giant transformer. Mm-hmm. And the Gogol Empire then send out what they were going to send out, but it's broken or doesn't work, and it just explodes and fires off this like core thing.
And that breaks the Aloha Oi.
Can't remember.
And then they have to do an emergency landing.
I know they have to.
Betelgeuse.
They have to. The nearest. No, they have to. Yeah, the nearest planet that they can repair the vehicle is planet Betelgeuse,
Which isn't the big one; it's the little one next to it.
the home of Meow.
Plot and backstory.
This is Meow's backstory. We've got an entire family backstory.
All you
right
need
here.
to know is the core of planet Gogol's ship thing explodes and it fires it off, and then you'll see it come into
Literally,
reference later.
5 words, big beam, shoot, aloha, oi, damage, drop.
Yep, and big beam continues to fly through space.
Was that 5 words?
Don't
So it was like 10.
We see that Meow doesn't want to go home. He's worried about going home for some reason.
because he's a weeb.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to because he thinks he's going to be a failure, which is exactly what we all worry about, isn't it?
We then get to meet Meow's family, and the first person who I really noticed was Meow's dad. Picked up on his voice almost straight away. Now
Good voice.
his dad is voiced by David Wald, who is the voice of Wealth Crozo in Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon?
Nice.
The blacksmith.
Yep.
And he's also Gargiel from Fairy Tale.
Shut up. Really? Fuck. Prefer Gargiel, though. I'm not going to lie.
We meet his family and we get this whole lovely family moment thing, and the evening comes by and that energy blast from the beginning of the episode hits Meow's house and
Precisely
specifically
the fucking calendar.
the calendar.
Mew, mew, mew.
Mew, mew, mew.
That's all I can think of.
And then
Meow-
it's
Meow's
not,
real name.
It's then not mentioned after that, and the next day sort of rolls in, and we see Meow's sister. The only reason I'm bringing up Meow's sister is instantly recognise her voice as well. She is voiced by Brittany Korbowski, who is known for being Yamada in Begata HT, Yamada's first time.
Your favourite.
It's a good anime. If you don't know what it is, it's an anime about a girl who wants to sleep with over 100 guys.
I can see
And it's
why
all about that.
you would like that.
And she also voices Wendy in Fairy Tale.
Really?
Yep, these are actually quite big voice actors
Big
in other animes.
Voice actors in Fairy Tale.
Who, I mean, this character pops up and says about 3 lines twice.
It's the same thing. They probably got her to record that line and then just played it again.
At home on her iPhone.
Like literally, like such
And Bubba
big
coming
voice
to the
actors.
office.
I mean, the dad gets more parts, obviously, but these are big voice actors that just appear very briefly.
Why would they do this? Can we have that conversation? Why would they just jump in? Is it just because they're enjoying this? Because it's fun? The voice actors?
I think this is just a show for the sake of a show. I mean, you go from serious animes and serious
I think
roles
they
to
like to
something you
drop
can
it in.
just have a bit of fun with. And
Is
that's
this
what
literally
Space
just-
Dandy is.
Like,
They're just name dropping.
don't get me wrong. If somebody came up to me right now and was like, "We'd like you to voice act Jim in space," I'd be like, "Yeah, baby, do it." But then,
It's not fun when he owns it.
If an actual larger big time actor came in and did a small part, I mean, you'd love it, right?
You would love it, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's
if you
what
were
I
a
mean.
big time actor and someone came up to you and went, "Do you want to do Hawkeye in, I don't know, Thor
In
for,
anything.
for 3 minutes?" You'd be like, "Fuck yeah, that'd be cool as shit." You just would.
They're just at this point, they are just name dropping
Yeah.
in their anime.
what's
Or-
those voices that you go, "I recognise that voice"?
Probably
I
just a
recognise
bunch of
that
mates.
voice." Yeah, probably.
Probably just professional friends, and it was like, "I need a fairy. Do you
Well,
want to pop
this
in
is
for
the
a
Fairy
day?"
Tale connection, because
Yeah.
a lot of them have been in Fairy Tale, and it seems to be a running theme that voice
Someone
actors of that
just gathered them up and went, I need a few voice actors for a day. Do you want to pop in?
That's not the first time we've
That's
seen it,
probably
though,
what
is it,
happened.
really? We saw it in One Punch Man, where there was connections between the voice actors in that as well. Genos and Saitama, they were voiced by actors who had worked on similar projects as well. It seems to be a running theme in anime that directors are connected to studios are connected to voice actors, and they're all connected together
Voices that work well together, they keep together.
Always.
Yep.
The repetition of voice actors throughout all animes, especially like harem animes, seem to constantly have the same voice actors doing the same things.
Have we noticed how Sheen's always referencing the harem anime?
isn't it? Always a harem.
It's
Similar
literally
voice
just the
actors every
harems.
time.
Yeah, that's why you fucking watch them.
Yeah.
It's for the acting.
Acting, yeah.
Wrestling for the plot.
No, that's what we're doing now.
We're seriously wrestling for the plot. No, but I don't know what year Space Dandy came out and what year
it's old.
Fairy Tale came out.
I think this is probably prior to Fairy Tale.
Would that mean that-
I don't
let me
know.
find out.
Would that mean then that possibly where a lot of these voice actors meet for Fairy Tale? Or is it just their starting role? I think it might be that this is their starting voice acting role.
Space Dandy's 2014.
And Fairy Tale is...
A lot older. It's got to be a lot older.
2009. So only
Yep.
5 years apart.
There you go, though. But there's at least
They met
5
on
years of
Fairy Tail.
seasons. Yep. So they met on Fairy Tale, and they've obviously been recruited together to do this voice acting. That's actually quite interesting to know, seeing as Space Dandy's drawings are so shit,
doesn't have a lot of surprises.
and his drawing is shocking.
What, the art style?
Yeah, art style is
it's
shocking.
It's got a retro art style.
It's supposed
this
to
whole thing.
look kind
I
of
hate it.
Cowboy
Dated.
Bebop and
Yeah,
dated. It's supposed to look like
hate
that.
it.
I love it.
I know you love it. We've established that you love this.
Let's continue with episode 10.
Let's go.
They go throughout the day
Doing normal day stuff.
doing normal day stuff. We also meet in the bar Katie, who's supposed to be sort of Meow's love interest from back
School.
in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait for the punchline.
The next day comes, and I didn't initially notice.
No, I didn't either. I don't think anyone did.
Not straight away, I didn't.
What, the calendar?
Yeah, the calendar.
No, I didn't
changed.
notice calendar, but
No,
I did
I-
notice the same fucking day was happening.
I only realised the day was repeating about halfway through the day.
Was yours about 103 as well?
So we realise they're in some sort of time loop.
We do.
They don't.
They do.
And they continue to repeat the day.
Up to day 35, and then the narrator talks
All
about
the people
this.
that live on this planet, none of them are aware that they're living a loop.
No.
But they become aware on the 88th
I
loop.
think from Meow's dad, we're supposed to believe that the planet is very just
Mundane.
mundane.
So
like,
nobody really
monotonous.
notices.
the life on there is it's very samey.
Right.
You will do the same thing every single day, day in, day out.
So it takes 88 loops of the day
No.
before QT mentions
Yeah,
that
that's the
something's
one.
not quite right, which they literally brush off.
Yeah.
And then the narrator says they finally get it at 105.
108 loops
Yeah,
in
108.
is when they realise that they're they're reliving the same day.
And they have superpowers.
And that's what they believe. They believe that they can control time and they've all got superpowers. This is quickly interrupted
By the narrator.
by the narrator, who basically tells them to
Get
on
on
with
with the fucking
Up with the
show.
show.
They run to the supermarket. Dandy steals a car, goes to fly off planet. The car blows up and kills him.
Yeah. Oh, he steals that hot rod, doesn't he? The
Yeah.
toy racers.
Yeah, he goes to fly away. The car blows up. They all die. Surprise, surprise again. Only for the day to start
At
again.
least we got an explanation of why they're back on this one.
Yeah, because the
within
day
season
is
one.
repeating. Does Meow start to enjoy the repetition?
I think
I
he-
got that feeling that he
I
did.
think he
Nostalgia.
appreciates his family more because of the
Enjoys his
repetition,
family
yeah.
time.
He starts spending time with his father in the shop.
Which, with that many kids, he probably wouldn't have done. And he didn't really take an interest in his dad's job because he was a weeb who just wanted off planet.
Yeah, and hated the place he lived. And now he's beginning to realise, actually, I kind of miss my family. He's definitely like, I actually do miss my family, so I'll go to enjoy this time with my dad.
And it's not long after that they notice that it's the calendar that hasn't moved. And somebody mentions, have you tried ripping the calendar?
Yeah, because
Is that
that's the
Katie in
problem.
bar?
Yeah, maybe.
I think she might suggest it. It's pushing my memory, but
I
I think
don't
she's
remember.
Yeah, and then they can't.
And then they physically cannot remove the page from the calendar.
And that's the great reason why the day won't change.
It did get struck by a beam. It's explained very well throughout the episode. The plot is thick.
If I superglue my calendar,
Then you'll be stuck on the same day. As long as you don't look at any other calendar or device with a date on it, it works.
am I right with this?
They basically lose hope.
We'll definitely go past this day, though. All right, we'll make sure that we get this recording done. So I don't have to relive this nightmare every single day.
They basically lose hope, and they're sitting in the bar, and this is the moment where Meow turns around and is like,
What have I got to lose?
well, I might as well marry Katie.
Yeah.
And then Katie's like, I thought you already knew. I'm gay. And Meow's like, we need to get out of here now. And he starts like relentlessly trying to remove the page from the calendar.
They
I
shoot
think they get like
they blow it up.
jackhammers, shoot
Jackhammers,
it. Yeah. Put a crowbar between.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I saw it coming. Meow's dad comes to the rescue.
Yeah, with his very, very...
With his precision drilling.
His big tool. I was going to say that.
Right, there's a lot of ways we've done that, guys. So he comes in with his big tool, with his precision drilling.
What fucking exciting plot this is. It drills
Good
in...
episode!
It's actually a really good episode.
Yeah, but the fact that he drills into the calendar.
It's the stupidity. They're like, oh, well, this is actually quite a good episode. How can we make this stupid? Right, that's how we can do it.
He finally removes the calendar, and there's the touching moment with Meow and his dad's like, go and see the universe, and then they leave the planet.
Because he thought his dad was ashamed of him. It turns out he's not.
I mean,
He doesn't care.
halfway through the episode, we find out that actually his dad's proud, and he brags about Meow
He's a
going...
big
the one that
space guy that's doing all these weird things at space and awesome things
In space.
in space.
And they leave the planet, and end of episode 10.
That's actually a good episode.
It's a good episode.
I agree, it is a good episode, especially considering it had to pick up the pieces that were left behind by episode 9.
Episode 9 was an amazing episode.
Don't you shut your whore mouth.
It was an okay episode.
No, not having it. Further. Come on.
It was an okay
No, drag it down.
It was an okay episode.
Drag it down.
What's next?
We'll move into episode 11.
I give that episode 9 a solid 0.5.
So in episode 11, we see Dr. Gel is like consumed by what
mental.
looks like a maths problem
Yeah,
or
he's
something.
mental. He's trying to work out the secret of Dandy.
And he's not paying attention.
I really enjoyed this
It's
episode.
a great episode.
It's a really good
This
episode.
is a huge one for what Space Dandy is. It's very important.
Well, thanks. It's a good
alright.
job it's in that first season. We get the answer.
The Emperor comes in, and he basically, Dr. Gel's not paying any attention to the Emperor. And the
So
Emperor...
B takes over as a
B
second.
takes over. And the Emperor is basically saying that he wants to bomb a planet called Largado because they have...
Late fees for a book.
He's got late fees for a library book, and he doesn't want to pay it. So to save him his embarrassment, he'd rather blow up the entire planet.
And he asks him what the name of
Well-
the book was, and he says, oh, it's Secrets of the Cosmos for Dummies.
Yeah.
Well, we cut to Dandy standing inside the alien registration place
With a box.
With a box.
a red box, and he turns around and says to Scarlet, I've got this alien in this box. You can't open it, though, because if you open it, you'll forget what was in it.
I was hoping this was going to be Schrodinger's cat.
It's just Dandy with a hole in the bottom of the box.
I thought it was... I thought...
That's Grayson.
I thought it was going to be one of those fucking alien things from Doctor Who. The ones where you...
The ones that once you see it, you forget it.
Yeah.
Once you look away,
No, when the minute you
forget
look
it, yeah.
away, you forget it's there, sort of thing. That's
The
what
silence.
I was expecting.
But
But
do you know what, right? There's one thing that scares me is the silence from fucking Doctor Who.
Weeping Angels.
No,
I'm going to let you
no,
know a secret.
the silence.
Weeping Angels are so much scarier.
If I know about the Weeping Angels, I can deal with them. The silence, as soon as I look away from them, I forget about them. So they could be just standing in my room at any time and I forgot about them. I know you don't. Hey, we don't like fucking space, Dandy. But yeah, we'll fuck it up.
Isn't a
Welcome to the Doctor Who episode.
So the red
I'd watch
box...
an anime Doctor Who. That'd be fucking scary and cool.
Scary.
It would.
Depends who's making it.
I went for the...
George Romero? Anyway, the red box inevitably falls onto the floor and opens. And does everything go like black and white and the
It
colour
goes in
fades?
that weird kind of, faded out and very basic scribbled.
And there's a book, or not a book, but a manuscript inside the box.
A note, isn't there? Just a piece of
Well,
note.
there's a manuscript sort of booklet thing, and then inside that there's a ticket
yeah,
as well.
it's like a little booklet.
Free food and drinks and all the library books you can read.
And beer.
And beer.
And then we cut back to the Emperor's, the Gogol Empire storyline part of this, and we find out that the book was stolen from the Emperor's ship, the library book.
By
This is why he can't
mysterious
return it.
unknown characters in a bag looking like a cat. And one that's a robot.
How good was the CCTV footage, though? Come on.
Clearly Dandy.
It was clearly
With
Dandy.
a bag over his head.
Soon cuts back to, guess what, boobies. And Dandy's in boobies.
Boobies, baby.
I was waiting for it.
And he's looking at this manuscript thing, and then he sees that it's got a ticket in it, but he can't read it. And that's when Honey comes in, and she fucking amazing she is, isn't she?
I know.
She reads every language, and
She's a Mary Sue, but in the right way done, because she's there to be a piss take.
well, she tells them that this book is from planet
You look
Legardo.
confused, Jim.
Yeah, what's Mary Sue?
Oh, a Mary Sue is a trope in movies where a female character is perfect. They have no flaws.
This is Honey.
So like Rey from the new Star Wars movies, where they can't do anything wrong. Like she instantly picked up a lightsaber and knew how to use it, and the Force, she's like the strongest because she's too perfect to have a character. It's a Mary Sue.
Yeah, all right. Why did you have to choose Ray? Like,
Because she's a good example of it, and she's shit because of it.
I hate it.
Yeah, everyone does.
Yeah, but I like Honey.
Yeah, because she's one that's done well. She's a Mary Sue that's there for comedy reasons, not to be
and she guides the story.
Yeah,
Well,
it's not to be a perfect character.
I want to say story, but I can't say story. She guides the episodes.
Yeah, and it's a nice reoccurring character rather than a main focus that has no flaws. It's this side character that, because she has no flaws, it kind of makes her a better character and funny. But if she was on the show all the time, she'd be shit.
She's a plot pusher.
Yeah.
That's all she is.
Yep.
Like, an ability to push a plot forward where there is some.
And she guides Dandy to planet Legardo. And when he zaps there, he gets there at the exact moment that
Gogol
Empire are all there. Who then trap him in a tractor beam.
Well, this is the first time we actually see Dandy fight the Gogol
Turn us
Empire.
180.
He flips his ship 180 and starts destroying all the
Just
Gogol
fire
Empire
with
ships.
one laser.
With one laser.
One shot.
And
Just
blows
like,
up
the
so
fleet's
many
gone.
ships.
And B's like, why is this guy trying to take on the entire fleet of the Gogol?
The seventh fleet of the Gogol Empire.
Well, just as they're about
On
to
his own.
retaliate, he gets teleported down to Legardo.
And you're going to have to explain this to me because this is where I check out.
Well,
Like,
he gets when
there's
he gets
so
there,
much
they're like,
go on.
They're like, "Welcome back, librarian,"
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, "Dandy's the librarian. What the fuck's going on here?"
He
That's
would
what I
be
initially thought because I was like, "What the fuck's going on?" Because I didn't expect a manuscript to come to life. This is why I thought they were talking to fucking Dandy. Don't just say no nonchalant. I wasn't to know that a fucking manuscript and a fucking library ticket was going to come to life at this point.
Look, you should have known.
But they
Should've
do. The manuscript is the librarian, and the ticket is the aid to the librarian. Like,
Yeah, the assistant librarian.
The look on your face.
See,
I
look-
wish I could share how confused.
Look, you're gonna have you know more than me now because like
They
I know
missed-
Dr. Gel gets attacked and stuff. And
Yeah.
They missed a golden opportunity where like Dandy was about to do something, like shout at something amazing, and then the librarians will just go shh. They missed that ability.
all I know is Dandy receives some sort of powerful knowledge or something.
Yeah.
Does he?
Yes. So, because he returns the book and he's been nice.
Didn't he draw boobies?
Yeah, he drew boobies.
He solves that equation.
He solves the
that Dr.
equation
Gel was
with
looking-
boobies.
And Dr. Gel sees that and he's like, he's done it.
Yeah, and Dr. Gel thinks he's some sort of genius. He's not.
He's just drawing boobies.
It's just the dandy way of living. Then the book gives him knowledge, a secret knowledge of the universe, which again is for later. Season 1 and 2 were designed to be a whole thing. That's why there's not been tons of Space Dandy. Can't be.
Yeah, that's the reason.
I'm going to
why
say
I
a
finished.
sentence that will piss you off. The plot ends when it needs to end. And there is one, and it sort of makes sense with the whole picture. There's just a lot of episodes in between that are just there for fun.
Right.
Which are like the plant episode. That is purely there to just be there.
Fun? Okay.
That's some writer, director, or artist just going, you know what, I'm going to fuck around on this one.
We're gonna trip people out.
Guys, let's drop some acid and draw some shit. That's that episode.
This ends with them receiving the red box again.
Yes,
And they go back
as a
to the
gift.
alien registration center and the box opens and there's a tape in it. But this tape manipulates memories. And we find out that eventually it leads to war.
Yeah, there's loads
Yep.
of videotapes and CDs and this
And laser
Copies
discs.
are made and
Yeah.
and it leads to I was like, okay, yep, cool.
Yeah.
I just thought this was another one of those episodes where like the
and then
world
it
ends again. and-
After that, it ends, and you're like, what?
It's the end of
episode 11.
it's the end of all
And
species
my
as well.
patience.
It's the end of all species. Like the videotape war led to the end of every world. It doesn't explain why. The narrator just says so.
I wish we had a counter of the amount of times that me and Sheen
Just
have
roll your eyes.
exchanged looks at each other.
Let's move into episode 12.
So let's do this.
I didn't mind episode 12. Quite like this one. This is the episode where we find out that basically Scarlet is fed up of Dandy bringing
Bringing
useless
shit
crap
aliens.
aliens.
Yep.
And she's like, why don't you go and find me a
Chameleonian.
chameleonian?
Chameleonian. Well done.
And we find out that this is an alien that can basically turn into absolutely anything and everything.
Yeah.
Hence why it's never been found before.
Because even if you do bring it in, they're not sure if it's a thing.
And they find out like the money is life changing if you can find it. It's like 100 million.
Probably enough for a boobies meal.
100 million woolongs,
That's it, Woolongs.
which will get you one Big Mac.
So Dandy decides that he's going to find this
Chameleonian.
chameleonian.
To his credit, he does.
He picks
No,
a planet that he just turns around and says, "This looks like a planet.
It's got
that it could live
chameleons
on.
on. No,
it's green.
it's got chameleons on. That's the reason why he
Because
picks
he brings
it.
back a chameleon first, just a normal.
A large
That's
chameleon.
fine, right? That's fine that he picks that planet because it looks like it's got chameleons on. Right. Why does he go fishing?
Fishing, right? I was gonna say they decide that the best way to catch this chameleonian is by fishing.
Yeah.
And they reminisce about what they're going to do with their share of the money. And Dandy claims that he's going to go to boobies every day.
Would you not?
The Dandy way.
It's the dandy way of living, baby.
And this is when Cutie falls in love with fishing. And
Which I thought was actually really funny. By the way,
can't get enough of fishing.
I did enjoy the fact that he's like, I got that 18 footer last week.
We get a montage of Cutie fishing.
Fishing, and with normal fish, by the way.
And then
We never see him
Thick
come off the
plot
planet.
right here.
Yeah.
Thick plot right here.
Cutie catches like a rare-ish fish that's black.
A black
and
chameleon.
that sort of gets overlooked.
It's a black chameleon.
Because not long after that, a real chameleon is caught.
Well, they think it's a large chameleonian, so they're like, yeah, shit, let's go to the thing.
to be told by Scarlet, this is a dead chameleon.
Yeah, it's a dead chameleon. You killed it as well. Whack, chucks it on the
And
floor.
then it cuts to the black, weird fish creature inside the ship
in a cage.
in a cage that then starts to dissolve. Surprise, surprise, it's the chameleonian.
Yeah, surprise. Cutie actually captured it, so.
And they're all sitting around inside the centre of the ship.
Complaining about people using people's toothbrushes.
And there's a random Asian guy
Sitting in the
standing
background.
I love that he doesn't belong in this universe. He looks like no other character. He looks like a genuine Asian dude. He doesn't look like a space dandy character.
No,
He's a
at all.
Minecraft Steve.
He's a Minecraft Steve.
There's this random old Asian man standing in the ship while they're monologuing about something's
their
not right.
Toothbrush and his comb and stuff.
And he's like, yeah, somebody keeps eating my ramen. And he even chips in at that moment. Yeah, who does keep eating that ramen? Oh, that was some tasty ramen.
They do a count off.
Yeah, the 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wait a minute, there's one too many of us. But who's the one?
So they run around the ship looking for this extra person, and
The extra person's running with
they
them.
they get to the cage, and
This
they're like,
bit.
"How did the fish get out of there?" And the Asian guy turns around and goes, "Yeah, how did I get out of there?"
And nobody cottons onto that either. Nobody says anything about the fact that he said that.
This is when eventually they do turn around and realise that this guy is
They search
obviously a
high and low the
chameleonian.
ship and they have no idea until finally
Well,
one
they
of
know
them
he's
realizes.
there.
Yeah, when they're running to the engineering room, like Meow's like running forwards. Like, I haven't seen anything. I'll go to engineering.
And
And
I
then
haven't
there's
seen
another
anything.
meow.
I'll go to engineering. Wait a minute.
it
There's
cuts,
not two meows on this ship.
it cuts away from their little adventure to Dr. Gel, who's talking about the fact that he's got this brand new weapon that can...
Transport any matter anywhere in the universe.
Yeah,
and
he can
capture it.
finally get Dandy, basically. That's when Dandy gets the wrong meow, and we get the crossover of meows.
And he sends that to the registration centre, and again, it's a Beetlejuicean.
And then they're sitting monologuing on a sofa. A new sofa that we clearly have never seen before. And they get up off the couch, and they're like...
Did we have that
Did
couch
we ever
there?
have that couch? The couch runs off, because it's clearly chameleonian. Cut to another moment where they're playing music on a boombox.
And it's doobie 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 doo, doobie doobie doo.
And then they turn around and go, "Since when did we have a boombox?" Boombox runs off. It's a chameleonian. Then
Come
it
on,
turns
you're
into
loving this.
then it turns into a woman. Turns into Scarlet.
Yeah.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
then,
He
finally
Scarlet
catches
walks
it.
up to him and
He
it's like,
finally catches it, but then he fucking takes his eyes off of the
He catches
tied
it
up
as
chameleonian.
QT.
Yeah, because he's got both of them tied up, and he takes his eyes off of it because he's staring at boobies again.
Yep.
Go on. Say it.
Boobies, baby.
I love the fact that go on.
The chameleonian then turns around, changes into Scarlet, who he misidentifies.
And then he gets pummeled.
One of them comes up,
Yeah.
and it's like, when are you going to bring me that chameleonian? You're useless. And then the other one comes up and says exactly the same thing, and
Yeah.
it's like, wait,
So then
it's you.
he attacks the real Scarlet and gets his ass kicked.
Shock horror. And he's banned.
This is when he thinks that basically he's lost the chameleonian. It's never going to turn up again. It's gone. In walks Dandy number 2. So we get double Dandy, which leads to
Double dandy, baby.
Dandy quiz.
a Dandy quiz. That's literally the words I
Which
wrote.
is
Dandy
Who
quiz.
Wants to Be a Millionaire, by the way. It's literally set as the tone of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
I take it the chameleonian inherits the memories and everything.
No,
of
I
Dandy.
just
don't
think-
you're
I just
supposed
think
to
it's
question
like-
Well,
this
this
stuff.
chameleonian literally doesn't get a single question wrong, and the quiz ends in a draw.
It does, but they kind of just do it because they like his answers, and it's like,
Yeah.
wait, no, I like the cup of this Dandy's jib. He's better than the
He's
original.
better than the original.
Well, what we can tell is the original Dandy starts having a go at QT and Meow, and then they're like, hold on a minute. The other one defends them, and they're like, hold on a minute, we like this one better.
We go back to Dr. Gel, who finds basically Dandy's location, uses his new weapon to capture Dandy, who both Dandys are walking side by side on this random planet's surface.
Yeah, because they come to terms with maybe I'm Dandy, maybe I'm Dandy.
they have
maybe we're both Dandy.
they end up having a crisis and just accepting the fact that
Except
there's two
that
Dandys.
there's two Dandies now.
Then Dr. Gel captures one. I mean, we all saw what was coming,
Yeah,
right?
of course we
I
did.
mean,
Yep.
next minute he turns around.
There's a
and
second Dr. Gel.
There's two Dr. Gels. He instantly starts questioning his own sanity. And we just cut back to boobies again. And that's the end of the episode.
A magnificent episode.
It was all right.
I actually really
Come on,
enjoyed it.
you laughed your ass off at this episode.
Yep, there was a lot of funny bits in this episode.
It was probably the funniest episode for me, yeah.
There was a lot of funny pieces, but that'll do. Right, episode.
Final
Next
episode,
time.
episode
One
13.
more. One more. Come on, home stretch.
This is all based on a 23-day story told by QT.
This, I love this episode.
Do you like this? This, again, has more character building in it, which
Everyone's
we needed.
had character building except
No.
Dandy.
Sheeny loves a romance, and
He
who
does.
can build?
It's the only romance.
Who can beat a coffee machine and a vacuum cleaner?
I'll have you know, that wasn't her name. Wasn't Coffee Machine. It was Maker.
It was
Oh, sorry, coffee maker.
and
Her name is Maker.
she's in love with.
No, don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
Leave it.
Day one of the 23-day story, because we see QT sitting in front of a cup of coffee, and it goes, "This is what drove me to drinking a cup of coffee."
Yeah.
Day one,
A beautiful cup of coffee. It's
Where
got,
does he go?
The love heart art in it.
Why does he go to the coffee house?
I literally wrote down day one, girl with thing in chest.
What?
What? What? I
Somebody
love your
please-
notes.
please-
Sometimes.
My notes are fantastic.
They just go to a coffee house. I don't know. I've just got they go to a
No,
coffee house.
QT goes to a coffee house, doesn't he?
They all do.
Oh, do they?
They all do
They're
on the
all in
first
there
one,
on
yeah.
day, on the first day, and this is when QT sees this coffee machine, and he basically like instantly falls in
Falls
love.
in
with it.
love with it. Yeah.
Well, before that, he monologues about the fact that nobody falls in love. Basically, he's sick and
Yeah,
tired
love
of
is
love. and
stupid.
yeah, because the entire episode, Meow and Dandy are on dating sites trying to hook up with people, which is what we see literally after QT falls in love with the coffee machine. We see Dandy and Meow on various types of hookup sites trying to find somebody, and then we get like day after day of QT visiting the coffee machine, sort of like making up excuses to go and see it.
Perving on
It's
it.
a great plot, isn't
He's
it? Really?
perving on it.
He's perving on it.
He is definitely. He's hiding outside, looking inside the window.
He's
Do you know
scoping
what,
out the
right?
situation.
This coffee machine throws out so many signals.
Yeah, I'm calling this.
She gives QT a fucking cup of coffee with a heart that she's put in it.
And she's
and
like, "Oh,
everything.
look at this."
And then QT goes and like takes it because she claims that she's never seen anything other than the coffee shop. He breaks her out of the coffee shop for a date, and they go and see like the fucking stars and the skies together. And it's all set up really nicely for this romance between Maker and QT. And you're like, there's a throwaway reference to a cash machine that Maker knows that's in the same shop.
Yeah, the cash register. Yeah.
Cut to Dr. Gel, who's got the whole Qaeda experiment and is building that at the moment, and he really does not give a fuck about it because he didn't make it and it's the Admirals, and he really doesn't want to deal with it. And he spills coffee on the actual controls. Because he just doesn't give a
So
fuck.
much plot right now.
That's important for later. That's important for later.
Look, then Maker gets taken away. We see Maker getting taken away.
Because she's fucking defective.
Because she develops emotions.
Yeah.
Well, she starts date. What we're led to believe is because QT doesn't turn up one day, Maker becomes flustered because he doesn't turn up.
And gets distracted from her job.
It looks like she's distracted from her job and then messes up, and then she gets taken away. And we find out that all appliances that show emotions get recovered by this agency, and they're thrown away to Dream Island.
So Register and Maker have both been taken away when QT comes back to the shop.
Yeah, because Register apparently keeps giving out the wrong change or something. That's all. That's all this reference.
Keeps undercharging customers and giving away free coffees. I like this Register.
Then there's this fucking rave going on Dream Island. With all these random appliances having a rave.
Am I dancing?
And
You're dancing.
and Register's the DJ. And QT finds Maker.
And they say it's a revolution party.
Yeah, and QT finds Maker, and Maker's, again, throwing out these signals, by the way. And she's like, come and dance with me. And they have this moment when they're dancing
Slow
together.
dancing.
Then everything takes a turn, and we get a robot revolution happen.
Saw that coming.
What was the main robot? What was he made of? He was just bits and pieces.
I
Right?
thought
I
it
think
was
he
just
was
bits and pieces.
Yeah,
put
so
that
he
together.
manages to somehow transform into... Do they all join together?
I think
Yeah,
they
I think
joined
so.
together, yeah.
Into a giant mech robot.
Ugh, mech again. Fucking sick of mechs. Honestly.
He just
fucking
wants
sick of-
romance. He just wanted a love story between a coffee maker and a cleaner.
After this huge robot's form, this is when Dr. Gel shorts out that weapon. He drops his coffee on the machine. And this is when we find out that Maker has been in love with the Register the whole time.
At this point, if I was QT, I'd be like, fuck off. What? Hold on. Right, I'm going. See you later, love.
Well, instead, he decides that he's going to, I don't know, take the moral high ground and
Yeah.
And
just
save the cash register.
Yeah.
attempt to save the cash register.
Yeah, that works.
For registered, it's stupid. Fucking stupid. Fucking why? Like, there's one throwaway reference about the cash register, and this whole time she's been throwing signals out to QT. Like, fuck her.
He's really invested right now. He's like
told you,
15
he loves
minutes in and he's
romance.
like, I'm in.
You don't pull on the heartstrings to fucking do that. I'm telling you that now.
This is the most invested, guys, he's been in
QT
this entire series.
QT fails miserably at attacking the robot,
Because he's a tiny fucking cleaning robot, and this thing's like,
and basically he gets destroyed. He
Yeah.
gets shot.
yeah, he does. But
And cut to Dr. Gel in his ship, and there's this
the
surprise,
malfunctioning
surprise,
beam hits QT.
something's made the machine malfunction. Coffee spill.
A coffee spill.
And there's an energy surge that flies out of the ship and hits QT, and it makes him about...
a massive
Yeah,
mech.
it turns him into a giant mech that rivals the other mech.
It's just a giant fucking
You
vacuum
roll your
cleaner.
eyes whenever you're saying mech.
And we have a mech fight.
No, we every single week when we're like, what are we doing next, boys? We're literally like, we can't do fantasy, we can't do fantasy, we can't do fantasy. You've got one show with mech in it,
Constantly.
and you're like, fucking mechs.
The only shows I really hate are mech shows.
This isn't even that mech.
It's not even really.
It doesn't have to be.
It's just something that grew. This could have been a Power Rangers episode. And Rita Ora could have just Rita Ora. Rita. What the fuck's her name? Evil Rita from Power Rangers. Make my monsters grow. What's her name?
I don't know.
Don't ask me.
It's Rita. I know it's Rita something.
It's definitely not fucking Rita
Not
Ora.
Rita
I've
Ora.
got Rita Skeeter, but she's the journalist from Harry Potter.
Skeeter.
That was my next guess. I'm not saying it.
Maybe it's Jim, baby.
Jim, baby.
Make my mechs grow.
QT finally wins the mech fight, and we don't see that he saves cash register.
No.
Like, it just cuts to him then.
We never see Coffee Maker or Maker ever again either.
No, that's it. It cuts to him sitting on the ship drinking coffee. Which
It's
fucking
like,
short
which
circuits. him.
brings it to now when I drink my first cup of coffee.
And it
He
short
drinks
circuits
it
him.
and he breaks.
That's been Space Daddy.
It's the end of the season.
Yeah, love it. Excellent.
So, we'll go into final thoughts.
Final.
Final thoughts on Space Dandy.
I think my thoughts ended like 10 minutes ago. Jesus. Right, we need to actually talk about... There are some good bits about this series. Don't you start. You can stay.
I'm going to let you say your pieces where I won't interrupt unless you ask me something.
because there are some good episodes. We talked
I
about some of
highlighted
them.
3 or 4 episodes that I said were good enough to watch.
You said the Chameleonian episode. I enjoyed Coffee Maker episode. So
The
again,
day
I
when
enjoyed
they
them.
repeat, that was a good episode as well.
And the Gentuin. I like the Gentuin episode. There's actually some plot. And
Yeah.
when they give this thing plot, it's actually really good and enjoyable, and I can pass it. Then we come on to the other episodes, which is the majority of the episodes.
It's a struggle to watch.
A struggle.
For me, it was a... Yeah. I mean, I know we went on about High School of the Dead being difficult, and yes, the last 3 episodes of that were very difficult.
Yep.
There were more than 3 episodes in this that were difficult for me.
Seeing as episode 1 was, I could pass it because it was the first episode. It was like, okay, I'm learning about this world. Second episode, I was like, fuck, it's just about ramen. That's literally all I've
The
watched.
concept of this anime isn't to give you tons of plot and backstory and character building. It's just a fun time. Or it's supposed to be a fun time.
Did you not have fun?
Look, there were funny pieces. There were funny pieces.
I
and
don't think I
enjoyed those
laughed
funny
once.
pieces.
No?
You've laughed more in this, this bit.
I don't think I laughed at any of it.
Like, there were funny pieces in this series for me. Not amazing, like, side-splitting laughter, but there was funny pieces, and there was a lot of callbacks and throwouts, which I enjoyed. This was supposed to be, like, a happy-go-lucky wacky series. It hit some of those beats, but not that many for me, and I struggled.
Was this too far out there for you?
I didn't mind the retro feel. I had no problems with the art style, the
all right,
music,
go
anything
from
like
the top
that.
then. Art style.
I had no problem with it. I liked it.
struggled
It was
with it.
retro and it was different.
It was clean, but
I struggled.
it looked like what it was supposed to look like. It was a knockoff of
Apart from
old
the plant
animes.
episode where they fucking went well off the rails and fucking tripped the shit out of
There was
you.
a lot of circles in that episode.
Other than that, I followed. Art style was fine.
The
You could
art
follow
style
it was fine.
throughout
What didn't
the-
you like about the art style?
I think it's just a little bit too out there for me. Like, it was a little bit too blocky. So when you go into a lot of the episodes, everything's very blocky. A lot of squares and rectangles and stuff like that.
And you wanted more like sword arts, more modern,
Smooth.
smoother
Give me a
looking.
bit of a smoother looking art style. So the problem is we went, like we were on about with episode 9, and when I was just joking about the circles, everything was just smooth circles. Everything was like completely the opposite
Shapeless.
to what, shapeless. And it's really hard to focus your mind on the episode when you've been used to square, blocky, rectangle for like 10 episodes or 8 episodes before that. So yeah, I struggled with the art style for it. Don't get me wrong, I've seen a lot of art styles like that, so Gurren Lagann and stuff like that, but that even still had a lot of...
Gurren Lagann's fairly modern.
Yeah, and
look
it's still got a
This was
better look.
closer to like Akira and much older shows. It was supposed to imitate that. It's what it's there to do, and it does it really well. But if you don't like that, you're not gonna like this. The look of it.
I just didn't like the look of it. Like, it was too old school for me.
What about music? This is
Again,
flawless.
the
in
music matched the art style.
Yeah.
It's
Retro
funky,
art style,
baby, and I
retro
loved it.
music. Music, no problem with at all.
Like, it's
Even the
funky.
monologue at the start, it was funny.
because it tells you who Space Dandy is. It
It's-
tells you all of his values.
It was fucking
in
stupid.
1 minute.
He's a dandy guy in space. Like, it just takes the piss out of itself, and that's fine. I
Instantly.
didn't have a problem with that. And the fact that it was
enjoyed
repetition.
I
Didn't mind
enjoyed
it.
the music. The music was okay. Like, it's passable. Like, my favorite part is literally the intro. It's the only thing that is
The
like
song.
groove.
The song is so
Yeah.
good. It's such a groovy track.
Yeah, groovy,
It is groovy.
baby.
It's what it's supposed to be. Even the art style during the intro is groovy. It's psychedelic colors and shapes and flowers and fucking rainbows and everything.
Yep.
It's supposed to be groovy.
I enjoyed that. Okay.
Voice acting, they chose well.
Yeah, love it.
Across
So
the board, like you couldn't.
there's so many different varieties of voice actors, and the voice acting is good.
And it's different from everything else, voice acting wise. I mean, it's different from everything else anyway. There's not another show on this planet that's like Space Dandy for the sake of being fucking Space Dandy.
If they'd have replaced Dandy's voice actor with Austin Powers, would you have noticed?
No, but I think you're supposed to do that. I think that's the idea, is that's who he is.
His-
He's that generation of what he thinks is cool.
Yep.
Is that Austin Powers kind of generation of character.
Everything followed each other.
Yeah.
The art style, the music, Dandy's voice was all retro.
60s, 70s.
It all followed on.
was
That was
okay.
all matched.
It was okay. I'll give you okay.
So the bit that we didn't like was plot, right? Like the
The-
complete
the
lack
lack
of
of.
it in, 90% of the
It
show.
was just the full inconsistency of the episodes, just in general.
There was no consistency. There was no, like, I don't mind having. We all love Rick and Morty here. That's just literally wacky episodes and wacky series time after time after time, isn't it?
But that's full of references that we
But
get
it had,
because it's Western.
Not only that though, as well, but there was always an overriding theme going between them. Like you'd have wacky episodes and stuff like that, but you always knew that there was a bigger plot behind it. This, do you get that? I can't.
Is there a bigger plot in Rick and Morty?
Really?
It resets at the end of the episode, doesn't it? Even when they can't reset the planet, they just chuff off to a different one.
At the end of every series, there's at least one thing that's
well,
consistent.
they can jump between universes and multiverse theory thing.
And they always try and end up at the same spot.
Oh, sorry. Have we got Evil Morty yet?
No, we haven't got Evil Morty. He's shown up twice?
Yep. And it's throwaway references like that are keeping you, okay, there's a bigger plot behind what's going on. Also,
you hope.
And the thing is, Dandy is just a flat character. You know exactly what you're getting from him.
But it's supposed to be.
Every episode is bar episode 9, which you could never predict.
You can predict exactly what Dandy's going to do because he's Dandy.
Yep. You can predict every episode and how it's going to play out from the start. As soon as you find out the theme of the beginning of the episode, you're it's going to follow this rough direction.
What I needed from Dandy was more of seeing what we got in the Gen 2 episode.
You wanted Dandy growing.
Yes, I want more.
But then you're not
of that.
getting the fun of Space Dandy. If he does more of that, then you're losing the boobies, baby, side of Dandy.
No, you're not. Take out some of the shit that you don't need, like 10 minutes of them playing fetch with a dog.
But how did you not find that funny?
It's not funny.
It is funny. The whole of Space Dandy is fucking hilarious, and it's supposed to be just stupid and throwaway.
Stupid, yes.
You're not supposed to sit down and binge it like we did. We watched this in a week, and you're not supposed to do that. You're really not. There's no reset. There's no turning off. This becomes really stale really quick if you watch it.
You can easily watch this series in broken bits because it just fucking doesn't follow on.
It doesn't matter.
I will agree with that. So since I've watched it fully, all the way through, with notes and preparing, I watched a couple of the other ones that I actually enjoyed. So like the Gen 2 episode, and I also watched the Chameleon episode. Those ones that I enjoyed, I can go back and watch those. It's just all of the ones in between those ones where I'm just like, it's too much. It's just too much. And it's all just mind trips.
It's too much of nothing.
Yeah, it's too much of nothing. That is exactly what's right.
What are we going to chalk it up to then? Because this has a huge following. This has those dedicated hardcore fans that love this fucking show, like me. They follow this fucking show. Is it an age thing? Because there's 7 years between us? Almost 10 years?
I think it does come down to taste.
Or is it because the humor of the show is just not what you find funny?
No, but the thing is, there are pieces that I find funny about it. Like I said, I'll watch a Rick and Morty, which is just almost the same sort of thing.
I fucking hate Shrek, but there's a few moments of Shrek where I'm like, that's kind of funny though.
There's a lot of things in Shrek that are
there really
funny.
isn't. It's fucking shit. Fucking hate
As I said, nothing about Space Dandy made me laugh.
But you have a very specific type of anime that you go to.
Yeah, ecchi and...
Yeah, you like romance and that type of stuff. And Jim loves his fucking beat-em-up violence.
No, hold on.
What's your favourite anime?
Well, that's difficult, actually.
Because Space Dandy is one of my favourites. This swaps with Gurren Lagann for top spot on a fairly regular basis, depending on which one I watched last. Purely because I love those stupid humours. I love a show that doesn't take itself too seriously and just kind of goes out there and stupid. Gurren Lagann does it fucking left, right, and centre. The further you watch into those seasons, the worse it gets.
I have certain animes.
Sorry, I do actually
you got
have
a favourite?
Yes, AOT.
Yep.
And you know why I love it? Because there is...
You got a fetish for naked.
No, he loves plot, and that's thick.
And that is just plot central with
there's a lot
twists
of law
and
and
turns
government
and shit and
Oh,
government.
fucking hell, if it's got politics in it, you're all over it.
Exactly.
But not only that, there is also romance. There is
So you rely heavily on plot, then you're fucking gonna hate Space Dandy.
Yeah.
And if you want romance and adventure and stuff like that, you're gonna hate Space
Yeah,
Dandy.
but you say that as well. Like I've said to you, I love series such as...
Yeah, but there's series like Is This a Zombie?
Yeah.
Now that is just a wacky, stupid
Ridiculous.
series.
It's stupid.
But it has a driving plot that continues through it,
Which
even
you
though
guys
there's
love it.
tons of moments of wackiness and just funny laugh out loud
Yep.
moments in that series.
This
Yeah, there
does
is.
through season 2. There are bits and pieces, like when he's trying to work out that math puzzle and Dandy solves it, why the narrator's there. All of that is plot. You just don't know.
I'm happy to hold out till such a time comes that we watch a season 2 before I give an
It
overall...
won't be soon. It will not be soon.
It's definitely not going to be fucking soon. But I will leave my final opinion on Space Dandy up until that moment when I've had the full...
Season 1 is a flop.
I'm still going to rate it.
As a whole...
I'm still going to rate this season.
Oh, no, we'll rate the
We've got
season.
it.
And
We've
we've got to rate this, and I think I'm not going to be kind.
No, season 1 is a flop. If you don't invest in season 1 knowing you're going to watch
You
season
need-
2, it's not good. It's just not good.
And the only reason this
Unless you're a
obviously
fan of the
got...
humour that it carries.
Obviously, the only reason this got a season 2 was because of its devoted following.
It got a season 2 because it was made to have 2 parts. It was made as one piece that got
has stuff to
split into
deliver.
2. Yeah.
So
So from the beginning, it was that there are X amount of episodes. We will release these ones, then we will release these ones. It wasn't we'll release this and see how it does, and then we'll do season 2. They were made together.
Okay.
That makes sense.
So, Lee, I was going to ask you what's your favourite scene, but I would imagine almost everything.
All of it. I fucking love this. I love like every monologue Space Dandy gives. I love the fact that his gun fails all the time. I love the fucking art style when it decides it's going to change, like the CCTV footage and stupid bits like that. I fucking love this show because it just does things that you wouldn't find anywhere else in an anime. You really wouldn't, because it doesn't belong there. It just, you wouldn't see any other show being this stupid.
Is it an Eastern style anime that's trying to be Western?
It's got Western humor, yeah.
Yep.
And if you don't balance that really well, and this doesn't a lot of the time, which is why some people find it funny, and I think a lot of people on both sides don't. You're gonna have that Eastern following that fucking hate it because it's got Western jokes they don't get, and the Western following is gonna hate it because it's too far Eastern for it to be funny, and that middle ground doesn't work for the majority of anime fans.
Yeah, so I'll agree that the style doesn't work for me, but actually the jokes hit.
Yeah.
So I will enjoy the jokes and the bits that we see in there, but also I don't like a lot of the style that it's done in and the way it's developed.
So the best way to enjoy Space Dandy then, if you don't like Space Dandy, is short clip hits that are like 2 minutes long where it takes a tiny bit of an episode, one joke, that's it.
Well, you just stagger your viewing of the series.
Yeah.
Unless you pick up on it straight away and you run with it and you enjoy it.
So guys, if
Which
you
I
don't
did.
like that, you'll be watching this till next year while trying to do 2 minute clip hits of this entire series.
All we'll say is hold out for us. Well, watch it if you want to watch it, or you can just hold out
Go
and
watch
wait for
season
us to-
2.
Yeah.
Probably
Oh,
a
Jim,
good 80% of people that already didn't like Space Dandy will not like season 2 of Space Dandy. I guarantee it. But those that thought it was okay, even okay, will love season 2 because it makes sense. It's still stupid, and the ending is still stupid, but it's within the realms of Space Dandy stupid.
And if you love it, call us out on it. Me and Sheeny.
Call you two out. I fucking adore this show.
If you hate it, send it to Grayson, and we will send it also to Grayson as well. Let's get on to this.
Should we rate it?
Yep, final ratings then.
I'm going to rate this high. I'll start. This is like a good 9 for me because the comedy and everything strikes really well with me, which is why it's going to fucking bomb with you two, I know, but my rating is going to be obvious. This is one of my favorite shows. It's going to be an 8, 9, or a 10. So
I'll give it
with a 9.
a 3.5.
Yeah, I'm going to have to come in with a 3.
And that's what I mean. It's like I can enjoy High School of the Dead and stuff like that probably more than I would enjoy. Look, the reason this got
Fucking
3.5
shit.
was for the 3 episodes I enjoyed and the half for the actual funnies. That's all I got it for the 3 episodes
But this
I
was
enjoyed.
much more consistent than High School of the Dead for being what it is.
Look, we
At
can't,
least
we
it
can't
didn't lose
compare
itself.
High School of the Dead.
You can't. They're very different shows.
Very, very different shows.
But on sticking to what they were from the beginning, Space Dandy ended as it started.
where nobody knew what the fuck was going on.
And well,
Exactly,
it just
yeah.
ends with a normal episode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
which is why you know it was built to be one big thing.
Standalones
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
It's not designed to be split.
So
into
where are we
seasons.
going to go with this?
We've got a 3.5, a 3, and a 9.
What was High School of the Dead? What did we
3.5.
give that?
High School of the Dead came in at, I think, at either 3.5 or a 4. if I
Should we give it
remember
the
rightly.
same?
I'll give it a 4.
I think
I'll
this
settle
deserves
with
to
4.
be there.
I'll give it a 4.
Minimum. It's better than High School of the Dead.
You never know. We might come in, watch season 2, and go, do you know what? We'll bump that score up because it.
I
gave it
reckon you
more
will. I reckon
reference.
even if you don't like it, you'll bump that up. It'll go to a 5 or a 6.
Look,
for you two.
it hit certain notes with me, but it certainly didn't hit the right notes with me, if you get what I mean. There's things that I enjoyed about it, but obviously I need to see the second series to even get that there's a story.
And even
behind
then,
this
I
thing.
think you're going to go, what? What? I think you're going to question it.
Oh, no doubt, because like 99% of the entire series was me going, what?
So, Space Dandy season 1, 4 out of 10.
We are going to get so much hate from
You're
those Space
going to get
Dandy
so
lovers.
much.
But bear with us. Next year, Or the year after when we go for
We're
this.
gonna have to wait 2 years for a fucking Space Dandy season 2.
Maybe 3 if we can push it. You're not in charge of this show.
It's very true.
You're not fucking getting back in. That door was open for you in the first couple of months. It's not opening again.
Grayson, take us away.
And on that note, it's time for us to chuff off. All you summoners can join us next time where we'll be doing King's Game the Animation, episode 1 to 6. If you have any queries or questions on what to tell me how right I am, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at How Not to Summon. I've been carrying this episode.
I've been Space Jim, baby.
I've been Shinny Senpai.
Space Jim, baby!
Jim, baby!
Space Jim, baby.
Finish this thought. I am a slave to
The booty.
move it. I got it. What's going on? 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 あなた眠らせない恋の魔力愛を唇から吹き込むのよ胸を回せるたび離れビート聞こえるまるで無尺のよう離れてても引き合うベイベー唇が動いてるあなたを呼んで動いてる Want to kiss したいキスしたい強く抱いて溶かして休まないで I got you baby もう一度 I got you baby
I've got it. What I need to do is join a cooking class.
Yeah? You gonna bake yourself a booby cake?
Why would I do that? Who wants a cake instead of the real thing? Those classes are packed with hotties looking to brush up on their domestic skills.
Oh. Well, I'm gonna take it to another dimension entirely, baby!
Huh?
From now on, the only girls I'm going after are the 2D kind.